So yeah, I made a really cool pump because my girlfriend's in media. I'm Gibby, this is Noetics, and today might get a little messy. Okay. That worked really well. You want to see what makes it work? This is the stuff I made you. So it's actually really simple. It is a C3 Papermate microcontroller, or Arduino is kind of the more popular version of it. And that is plugged into a microstepper driver. It's a pretty small one. It's not meant for huge motors. This is not a huge motor. And then we have a DC motor, and then we have the actual pump enclosure. I forget the name of the style of this pump, but it's the only style of pump where the thing that you're trying to move doesn't actually come in contact with the motor. And what's really cool is the way it works is it actually just presses the tube together at different points in order to create low and high pressure zones in order to basically just move the water up the tube. And that was actually one of the harder parts of this whole entire project, because in order to get the freaking washers to clamp this correctly at the right amount to create the right pressure, the right vacuum at a pressure that this motor can handle, that this microstep driver that can handle, that the Arduino can handle. It basically all came down to a very, very specific number where we can only run the motor between 550 hertz and I think the upper end is 800 hertz. But as you saw at like 775, you could get some pretty good, disgusting movement going on with only 775, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. You have any questions?
How long did this take you?
Like 3 days. I mean, it took longer than that in terms of like actually getting everything. I was originally following a tutorial on GitHub, and it was literally called and it was these instructions of how to basically build this pump precisely with no problems, and they had everything figured out for you. So you literally just had to figure their tutorial. Their tutorial sucked and didn't work in most places. It asked me to buy like probably $160, $200 worth of equipment, but it ended up I only ended up needing like $100 worth of the equipment. I literally only needed the motor, the driver, the breadboard, and the C3 Papermate. There was like a ton of step down drivers and all these other types of computing modules that were supposed to go on the breadboard, but you just didn't need them. All you needed to do was just set up the 3 volt to the positive on the driver, and then your GPIO pins to the negatives, just so it can control the gate of how much energy is flowing through it, and that lets you control a basic motor. These 3D print files were really cool too. They were actually given to me by the original tutorial, and I don't have a 3D printer anymore. I sold it. So what I did was I went on to PCBWay and ordered the really nice black industrial resin. So it's supposed to be super, super, super strong. And that was something I'm always worried about with the pump, was it just flexing and breaking under the motor or the bearings or whatever else is in there. But yeah, that's pretty much your project. That's how it works, and it does work. You saw how well it works. So yeah, I made a really cool pump because my girlfriend's in media. Do you have more questions you can think of?
Okay, I'm just curious because for example, when I asked you how long this took you to build, instead of replying back with this project took me this amount of time, you answered it like it actually was a question.
Oh, I just have severe ADHD. I think that's the real issue. In terms of actual hours, I would say that I put probably close to 30 hours into this. And I would say that 15 of it was just getting those bearings the correct ratio to squeeze the tubing. But from start to finish of me ordering the parts to the creation of it, I would say it probably took a week and a half, just because I forgot to put in the actual purchase for the pump. So I was waiting around for half a week waiting for the pump to come in, and it just never did because I never bought it. That was probably the largest waiting point that I created for myself. I used Claude Code in order to host a local web UI to connect to this pump. So actually through the C3 paper, yeah, that's the whole point. The whole point of the C3 paper is so you can control the amount. So I programmed a whole interface that you could just access. As long as this stuff is plugged in and you are on our local network, you are able to access the pump at a specific link in order to control the pump. That part was important because the whole point of it was I had to move a specific amount of fluid. Being able to move a specific amount using how many steps you want to use at what hertz and all that type of garbage. Or we can set presets of have it run for this amount of time. I need to fix the actual pressurization chamber. It's definitely still leaking, and I do have a solution for that. In order to make it quick swap with a ton of different toys, I'm gonna make it so that the screw top die packs that you can get at like Walmart. I'm gonna use the chamber side for just the actual like pump enclosure and all this type of stuff. But that way, on the other end with these like really small tubings, you can plug in any of those tie caps, and you can just quick swap your toys basically just by screwing and unscrewing. And I think that'll also make a better pressure chamber for swapping these larger tube sizes down to the smaller ones.
You still didn't exactly talk about the process of like
Process of what?
building that computer site.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean,
Because it looked crazy, and then you converted it to like something that was very modern and approachable.
oh, yeah, I mean, that's what AI basically just did a bare bones version of the website first, and then I was like, hey, I need it to be pretty. Make me something pretty. And then it made it prettier. Again, Claude Code in an Arduino IDE in order to plug into this little thing. And then you can write whatever you want to it that it can handle. I mean, it's a little computer. It's a mini computer. It can handle a couple hundred lines of code. So anything that you can fit within that and without a ton of processing power is really easy. And like hosting a local UI, that's super easy. You're literally just serving a file to the LAN, the local access network. Yeah. Yeah, so I wasn't like being dramatic. I mean, it literally is just a C3 paper Arduino driver and then the pump, which is just a standard DC motor with the 3D enclosure. And you can see in here the little washers that will, tighten and loosen the pump tubing in order to get the pressure to go. Yeah, I don't know, this was a cool project. This was super fun. It was very satisfying to actually see it work.
Hey guys, so I want to go ahead and just hop on here to show you the actual UI for the pump that we just demonstrated. As you can see here, it's pretty basic, nothing special. Really the only thing that I care to use with this AI generated code is the hold to run, the spurt button, as well as making sure that the target hertz is between 550 and 800, as that seems to be the sweet spot for getting the pump to actually function. If you like this project, like, subscribe. Those really help me out. The link tree is in the description, and that has my Patreon on it. And if you want to see more really cool, dumb projects like this, subscribe to me on Patreon. They get a lot of cool features like videos 24 hours in advance, as well as no ads and no advertisers on there. So if you guys are interested in me and what I do and stuff, well, I would really appreciate it if you guys gave me money or something. Thank you and goodbye.